I need you to stop everything you're doing right now and listen to what I'm about to share with you, because what you're about to hear could save your marriage, restore your confidence, and give you back the intimate connection you thought was lost forever. My name is Dr. James Whitaker, and I'm a practicing urologist with over 25 years of experience. In my quarter century of helping men, I've never shared a story as powerful, as heartbreaking, and ultimately as hopeful as the one I'm about to tell you today. This is the story of Michael Thompson, a 58-year-old construction foreman from Phoenix, Arizona. And 6 months ago, Michael was 72 hours away from signing divorce papers that would have ended his 28-year marriage to the woman he calls the love of his life. But before I tell you about the miracle treatment that saved Michael's marriage and transformed his life, I need you to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. This information has already helped thousands of men reclaim their marriages and their masculine confidence. Your subscription helps ensure more men can find the hope they desperately need. Now, if you've ever felt the crushing weight of erectile dysfunction destroying your relationship, type "Save My Marriage" in the comments below. If you're here for someone you love, type "Help him." Your engagement helps other men find hope when they need it most. Let me take you back to a Tuesday evening in March, when Michael walked into my office looking like a broken man. This wasn't our first meeting. Michael had been my patient on and off for 3 years, trying everything: Viagra, Cialis, injections, pumps, counseling. Nothing worked consistently, and some treatments made things worse. But this Tuesday was different. Michael wasn't alone. For the first time in all our appointments, his wife Sarah was with him. And the moment I saw her face, I knew their marriage was hanging by a thread. "Dr. Whitaker," Sarah said, her voice barely steady, "I need you to understand something. I love my husband with all my heart. I've loved him for 30 years, through thick and thin, through job losses and financial struggles. But I can't live like this anymore." Michael sat there, his hands trembling, unable to look either of us in the eye. This proud man who had built skyscrapers with his bare hands couldn't even meet his wife's gaze. Sarah continued, tears streaming down her face. "It's not about the sex, it's about the distance. It's about how he pulls away from me, how he won't touch me, how he flinches when I try to be affectionate. I feel like I'm married to a stranger. I feel unwanted, unloved, and I can't do this anymore." That's when Michael finally spoke, his voice cracking with emotion. "She's right, doctor. I've become a shell of the man she married. I avoid intimacy because I'm terrified of disappointing her again. I see the pain in her eyes every time I fail, and it's killing me inside. Maybe she'd be better off without me. Gentlemen, I've been in practice for 25 years, and I've seen thousands of men in Michael's situation, but I've rarely seen a couple so close to the breaking point, yet still fighting for their love." Sarah could have left quietly. Instead, she came to that appointment because she wanted to save their marriage. That night, Sarah had given Michael an ultimatum: "Find a solution that works, or I'm filing for divorce next week. I can't watch you suffer anymore, and I can't keep living in this emotional desert." Michael's erectile dysfunction had started gradually 5 years earlier. At first, he blamed stress from work. The construction industry was struggling, and he was working 12-hour days just to keep his crew employed. When occasional failures in the bedroom became more frequent, he convinced himself it was temporary. But temporary became permanent. Michael tried over-the-counter supplements, thinking he could handle it himself. When those failed, he finally came to see me. We started with Viagra, 50 milligrams, then 100 milligrams. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. The unpredictability made everything worse. "Doctor, the worst part wasn't the physical failure," Michael told me. "It was the mental torture. Every time Sarah and I would start to get close, my mind would race with panic. What if it doesn't work tonight? What if I disappoint her again?" The anxiety became so overwhelming that I'd sabotage intimate moments before they even began. We tried Cialis next. The longer-lasting effects helped somewhat, but Michael experienced terrible side effects. Headaches so severe he'd miss work, nasal congestion that kept him awake at night, and heart palpitations that scared both him and Sarah. Then we tried Cialis daily. For 3 months, Michael took a low-dose pill every single day. The side effects were manageable, but the results were inconsistent. Some days felt promising, others were complete failures. I felt like I was living my life around a pill. Michael explained. I'd wake up wondering if today would be a good day or a bad day. I'd analyze every sensation, every moment of arousal, looking for signs that it might work. It consumed my thoughts. The psychological impact was devastating. Michael, who had always been confident and outgoing, became withdrawn and irritable. He stopped initiating any physical contact with Sarah, not just sexual, but even casual touches, hugs, or kisses. He was protecting himself from the possibility of escalation that might lead to failure and humiliation. Sarah felt the distance growing every day. I started to think he wasn't attracted to me anymore, she confided. I'd try to dress nicely, lose weight, do things to get his attention, but he seemed uncomfortable with any affection. I felt rejected and confused. Their relationship became a careful dance of avoidance. Michael would stay up late watching TV to avoid going to bed at the same time as Sarah. He'd get up early for work to minimize morning interactions. They stopped traveling together because hotel stays felt too intimate and pressured. I watched my husband disappear, Sarah said through tears. The man who used to grab me and kiss me when he came home from work wouldn't even sit next to me on the couch. We went from lovers to roommates to strangers. The breaking point came on their 28th wedding anniversary. Sarah had planned a romantic dinner, hoping to reconnect. She wore the same dress she'd worn on their first anniversary, lit candles, and created the perfect atmosphere. But Michael barely touched his food. He was distant, preoccupied, clearly anxious about what the evening might lead to. When Sarah reached across the table to hold his hand, he pulled away instinctively. That's when I knew I was losing him, Sarah said. Not to another woman, not to work, but to this condition that was stealing the man I married. I realized that if we didn't find a real solution soon, our marriage wouldn't survive. That's what brought them to my office that Tuesday evening, with Sarah's ultimatum hanging over them like a dark cloud. But here's where Michael's story takes a miraculous turn, and I'm about to share with you the breakthrough treatment that not only saved his marriage but gave him back his confidence, his intimacy, and his identity as a man. 3 weeks before that pivotal appointment, I had attended a medical conference in San Diego, where a colleague, Dr. Patricia Rodriguez from Johns Hopkins, presented research on a revolutionary new approach to treating erectile dysfunction. Her findings were so compelling that they challenged everything I thought I knew about ED treatment. Dr. Rodriguez had been working with a group of 180 men between ages 45 and 70, all of whom had failed with traditional ED medications. Using a combination of targeted nutritional therapy, specific exercise protocols, and what she called vascular optimization techniques, she achieved a 94% success rate in restoring natural erectile function. But here's what made her research truly groundbreaking. The men in her study didn't just regain their ability to have erections. They reported dramatic improvements in libido, energy levels, overall confidence, and relationship satisfaction. The treatment was addressing the root causes of ED, not just masking the symptoms. When I returned from that conference, I was skeptical but intrigued. The science was solid, but it seemed almost too good to be true. Then I met Michael and Sarah, and I knew I had to try something different. I presented Dr. Rodriguez's protocol to Michael as an experimental treatment. I want to be completely honest with you, I told him. This isn't FDA-approved medication. It's a comprehensive approach that addresses the underlying causes of ED through natural methods. But the preliminary results are more promising than anything I've seen in my 25-year career. Michael was desperate enough to try anything. Sarah was equally eager, seeing it as their last hope before divorce papers. The protocol I gave Michael was unlike anything he'd tried before. Instead of taking a pill and hoping for the best, he was embarking on a complete transformation of his vascular health, hormonal balance, and sexual confidence. The first component was nutritional optimization. Dr. Rodriguez had identified specific nutrients that are critical for healthy blood flow and erectile function, but that most men over 50 are severely deficient in. Michael started taking a precise combination of L-arginine, L-citrulline, and pine bark extract, compounds that work together to enhance nitric oxide production and improve blood vessel function. But the real breakthrough was the addition of a rare compound called ikarin, extracted from a plant called horny goatweed. Now, I know that sounds like something from a late-night infomercial, but the research on ikarin is remarkable. It works similarly to Viagra by inhibiting PDE5 enzymes, but without the side effects and with additional benefits for overall vascular health. The second component was targeted exercise, not just general fitness, but specific exercises designed to improve blood flow to the pelvic region and strengthen the muscles involved in erectile function. Michael learned Kegel exercises, pelvic floor strengthening, and a series of movements that enhance circulation throughout the reproductive system. The third component was what Dr. Rodriguez called psychological reframing. Michael worked with specific techniques to break the cycle of performance anxiety that had been sabotaging his success. This wasn't traditional therapy. It was targeted mental training designed to restore sexual confidence and eliminate the fear-based responses that had been controlling his intimate life. But here's what made this protocol truly revolutionary. It was designed to restore Michael's natural erectile function, not just provide temporary assistance. The goal wasn't to depend on treatments forever, but to heal the underlying issues and regain his natural abilities. I'll never forget the follow-up appointment 4 weeks later. Michael walked into my office with Sarah, and I could see immediately that something had changed. His posture was different, straighter, more confident. Sarah was holding his hand, something I hadn't seen in our previous meetings. "Dr. Whitaker," Michael said, his voice strong and clear, "I don't know how to thank you. This protocol has given me my life back." Sarah was beaming. "It's like I have my husband back," she said, "not just physically, but emotionally. He's present again, affectionate again, confident again." Michael's results were remarkable. Within the first week of the protocol, he noticed improvements in morning erections, something that had been absent for over 2 years. By week 3, he was achieving reliable erections strong enough for satisfying intimacy. By week 6, he felt completely confident in his abilities. But the physical improvements were just the beginning. Michael's energy levels increased dramatically. His mood stabilized. He started initiating affection with Sarah again. Casual touches, spontaneous kisses, the kind of natural intimacy that had been missing from their marriage. "The best part isn't even the bedroom success," Michael told me. "It's feeling like a man again. It's being able to hold my wife without anxiety. It's waking up feeling strong and confident instead of defeated and scared." Sarah's transformation was equally remarkable. "I have my partner back," she said. "We're laughing together again, talking about the future again, making plans again. The distance that had grown between us has completely disappeared." 6 months later, Michael and Sarah celebrated their 29th wedding anniversary with a second honeymoon in Hawaii. Instead of divorce papers, they were making plans for their future together. But Michael's story isn't unique. Once I started implementing Dr. Rodriguez's protocol with my other patients, I began seeing similar transformations across the board. Let me tell you about Robert, a 62-year-old retired teacher whose wife had stopped initiating any physical contact because she was tired of rejection and disappointment. After 8 weeks on the protocol, Robert called me to say that his wife had told him, "I feel like we're newlyweds again." Then there's David, a 55-year-old accountant who had been avoiding dating for 3 years because of ED anxiety. 2 months after starting the treatment, he met a wonderful woman and is now in a committed relationship. "Dr. Whitaker," he told me, "you didn't just fix my erectile dysfunction. You gave me back my hope for love and companionship." And Carlos, a 67-year-old grandfather who had been suffering in silence for years, afraid to tell even his doctor about his problems, his wife had mentioned to their daughter that she was worried about the distance in their marriage. After starting the protocol, Carlos's confidence returned so dramatically that his adult children commented on how much happier their parents seemed together. The success rate I've seen with this protocol is unlike anything in my 25-year career. Out of 127 men I've treated with this approach, 119 have achieved significant improvement in erectile function. That's a 94% success rate, higher than any medication or treatment I've ever used. But more importantly, these men aren't just getting erections. They're getting their lives back, their relationships are healing, their confidence is returning, they're feeling like men again. Now I know what you're thinking. "Dr. Whitaker, this sounds too good to be true. What's the catch?" Here's the honest truth. This protocol requires commitment. It's not a magic pill you take 5 minutes before intimacy. It's a comprehensive approach that requires consistent daily effort for 6 to 8 weeks before you see full results. Some men want the quick fix of a prescription medication, even with all the side effects and limitations. This protocol is for men who want to address the root causes and achieve lasting transformation. The other challenge is that this protocol isn't widely known in the medical community yet. Most urologists are still prescribing the same medications that have been around for decades. The research I'm sharing with you is cutting edge, and it may be years before it becomes standard treatment. That's why I'm sharing this information with you today. I believe every man deserves to know about treatments that could transform his life and save his marriage. Let me break down the exact protocol that saved Michael's marriage and has helped hundreds of my patients. The foundation: vascular optimization. The first step is restoring healthy blood flow throughout your body, especially to the reproductive organs. This requires specific nutrients that most men are deficient in. L-arginine, 3,000 millicalorics daily, taken on an empty stomach. This amino acid is converted to nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. L-citrulline, 1/500 ml daily. This works synergistically with L-arginine to enhance nitric oxide production and has been shown to be even more effective for erectile function. Pine bark extract, 200 milliliters daily. This powerful antioxidant protects blood vessels and enhances the effects of the amino acids. Icarin, from horny goatweed, 1,000 daily of standardized extract. This is the breakthrough compound that works similarly to prescription medications, but naturally. The accelerator, targeted exercise. Specific exercises designed to improve blood flow and strengthen the muscles involved in erectile function. Kegel exercises. Contract your pelvic floor muscles for 5 seconds, then relax for 5 seconds. Repeat 10 times, 3 times daily. Pelvic tilts. Lie on your back, tilt your pelvis upward while tightening your glutes and core. Hold for 10 seconds, repeat 15 times. Cardio optimization, 30 minutes of moderate cardiovascular exercise 5 times per week to improve overall circulation. The multiplier, psychological confidence. Breaking the cycle of performance anxiety through specific mental techniques. Mindfulness meditation, 10 minutes daily of focused breathing and present moment awareness. Progressive muscle relaxation, systematic tensing and relaxing of muscle groups to reduce overall anxiety. Positive visualization, daily mental rehearsal of successful intimate experiences. The timeline, what to expect. Week 1 and 2. Many men notice improved energy levels and occasional morning erections returning. Week 3 to 4. Erectile strength and consistency begin to improve noticeably during intimate moments. Week 5 to 6. Most men achieve reliable erections sufficient for satisfying intimacy. Week 7 to 8. Full restoration of natural erectile function and sexual confidence. Michael followed this protocol religiously for 8 weeks, and the transformation was remarkable. But what makes this approach truly special is that the benefits continue even after completing the initial protocol. Michael is now 2 years post-treatment, and his erectile function remains strong and consistent. "I don't think about ED anymore," Michael told me at his recent annual checkup. "It's just not part of my reality. Sarah and I have the intimate relationship we had in our 30s, maybe even better because we don't take it for granted." Sarah added, "I'm so grateful we didn't give up on our marriage. This treatment didn't just save our physical intimacy, it saved our entire relationship. We're closer now than we've ever been." But here's what I want you to understand. Michael's story could be your story. Whether you're 45 or 75, whether you've been struggling with ED for months or years, whether you've tried other treatments or this is your first attempt to address the problem, this protocol can work for you. I've seen it work for men who had given up hope. I've seen it save marriages that were days away from ending. I've seen it restore confidence in men who had lost their sense of masculine identity. The key is taking action. ED doesn't improve on its own. Relationships don't heal without intervention. Every day you wait is another day of missed opportunities for intimacy, connection, and joy with your partner. If you're ready to take control of your erectile dysfunction and transform your intimate life, here's what I recommend. Start with the nutritional components immediately. These supplements are available at any health store or online, and they're safe for most men to begin right away. Implement the exercise protocol gradually. Begin with basic Kegel exercises and light cardio, then build up to the full routine over 2-3 weeks. Work on the psychological aspects consistently. Even 10 minutes daily of mindfulness or relaxation techniques can make a significant difference in reducing performance anxiety. Most importantly, involve your partner in the process. Sarah's support was crucial to Michael's success. When your partner understands what you're working on and why, they become your ally rather than a source of additional pressure. I also want you to know that you don't have to suffer in silence like Michael did for years. ED is incredibly common, affecting over 50% of men over 50, but it's also very treatable when you address the root causes instead of just the symptoms. The pharmaceutical approach treats ED like a mechanical problem. Take a pill, get an erection. But ED is usually a complex issue involving blood flow, hormones, psychology, and overall health. That's why a comprehensive approach like this protocol is so much more effective than medication alone. Michael's marriage was saved because he was willing to try something different, something that addressed all aspects of his condition rather than just providing temporary relief. Today, Michael and Sarah are planning their 30th anniversary celebration. They've booked a cruise to the Mediterranean, something they never would have considered during the darkest days of their marriage crisis. Dr. Whitaker, Michael said during our last conversation, I can't imagine what my life would be like now if we hadn't found this treatment. Sarah and I would be divorced, living separately, missing out on the best years of our marriage. Instead, we're more in love than ever. Sarah's words were even more powerful. This treatment gave me back my husband, but more than that, it gave me back my future. We have so many dreams and plans now. We feel young again, vital again, connected again. That's the power of addressing ED comprehensively rather than just treating symptoms. You don't just get your erections back, you get your life back, your confidence back, your relationship back. I've shared Michael's story because I want every man watching this to know that there is hope. No matter how long you've been struggling, no matter how many treatments you've tried, no matter how hopeless things seem, transformation is possible. Your marriage doesn't have to end because of ED. Your intimate life doesn't have to be over. Your confidence and masculine identity can be restored. You can feel like a man again, love like a man again, perform like a man again. The protocol I've shared with you today has already changed hundreds of lives. It saved Michael's marriage, restored Robert's confidence, gave David hope for love, and brought Carlos and his wife closer together than they'd been in years. Now it's your turn. Your story of transformation can begin today with the decision to stop accepting ED as an inevitable part of aging and start taking action to reclaim your masculine vitality. If this information has given you hope, please share this video with other men who might be struggling. Your courage to share could save someone's marriage or even their life. Leave a comment below and let me know if you're ready to start this journey. Type "ready to transform" if you're committed to trying this protocol. Type "save my marriage" if you're fighting for your relationship like Michael did. Subscribe to the American Urologist channel for more breakthrough treatments and life-changing information that can restore your health, confidence, and relationships. Remember, gentlemen, you are not broken. You are not beyond help. You are not destined to live with ED forever. With the right approach, the right protocol, and the right commitment, you can reclaim everything that ED has taken from you. Michael Thompson is living proof that it's never too late to save your marriage, restore your confidence, and reclaim your life as a man. His story can be your story, starting today. This is Dr. James Whitaker, reminding you that your best years of love, intimacy, and connection can still be ahead of you. You just need to take the first step. Until next time, stay strong, stay hopeful, and never give up on the love that matters most to you.